So I know it's been a while since I've posted a video. Obviously, this channel had a little bit of a pause, a dearth of content, but it's a great and it's an exciting time to be a fan of card games. So I was obviously gone because I was casting the We Play Artifact tournament, so exciting stuff with that game. Ravnica Allegiance released, so exciting stuff with this game, Magic the Gathering, and even the Elder Scrolls Legends had Isle of Madness release. So I've got a lot to catch up on, a lot of stuff that I want to cover now and in the immediate future. And I thought that I would start with playing some Magic because I've been hearing lots of fun things. And I love limited formats. I love Draft. I love Sealed. And right now, Arena has Sealed events available for Ravnica Allegiance. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to dive right in. We're going to play a Sealed. This video is going to be me opening the 6 packs and then building the deck, and then we're going to do a series just like I did the last time where win or lose, I'm going to show all of the games throughout the run, hopefully more wins than losses, and we'll see how it goes. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and start this run. Again, if you're not familiar with Sealed events, you open 6 packs and then you build a deck out of it. When I do this, it's going to show me the rares. And hey, we got some good stuff here. So I was just getting ready to say that typically what I'm looking for, or what I'm usually hoping for with Allegiance, is stuff that is strong in Gruul and stuff that is strong in Simic. I think that the Adapt and the Riot mechanics are very, very strong. And wow, we got some good stuff for playable rares. So Biogenic Ooze is a mythic rare, and this thing is a house. It can win games on its own. Being able to create more creatures is always a boon, and then the fact that they always get bigger is fantastic. Kaya's Wrath is pretty strong as well, obviously, because it's, you know, Wrath of God, essentially. Gruul Spellbreaker, a 3/3 for 3 is always great, but it also has Riot and Trample, and as long as it's my turn, me and it have hexproof, that's pretty strong. Whenever a non-token creature enters the battlefield under our control, if it doesn't have the same name as another, draw a card. This is very, very good in limited. So far we've got 2 really good green cards, a great Gruul card. Then we also got a Planeswalker, another mythic. So our Sealed had 2 mythics. That's fantastic. And this is a fantastic Planeswalker for limited in my opinion, because the +1 for adding mana, and then if it's spent on a creature spell, give it Riot, is very, very strong, because Riot can stack. You can have multiple instances of Riot. And then being able to even just draw cards is very, very strong. The emblem is very, very strong. Like I'm a big fan of this in limited as well. And then this is not as like good in limited. This is kind of a cheeky, fun build around card where you can destroy all artifacts and enchantments and then convert them essentially into 3/3 centaurs. This is potentially runnable if you are worried about enchantments that would be used to disable your creatures, right? Like it could be a cool tech card against basically like pacifism effects and things like that, but I'm not sure if this will end up making the cut in our deck, but it's looking like at a minimum we're going to be playing some Gruul just based on the strength of our green and red here. And now we're going to go ahead and jump into the rest of what we have here. We're going to be looking at our blue to see if it's splashable for some Simic. Things like Fairy Duelist are very, very good. Even Quench can be good. It's just a, you know, worse mana leak. I'm probably showing my age mentioning cards like mana leak and so forth, but you know, we're looking for things like this, like just quality creatures, Chillbringer. We're also looking for things with potentially Ascend. And then we're going to be looking at our red, specifically our Gruul style stuff. So like this is a fantastic creature to include. And then we're also going to want to be looking at our dual cards. Now it looks like we actually have a lot of good Azorius gold cards. We also could choose to splash some of these, right? So Carnival and Carnage is actually not half bad. Like, this is entirely runnable. So this one's probably not splashable, but any of these ones where it's like one red are, or excuse me, one black are entirely considerable. I'm actually a big fan of the Rebel Slinger, so I'm glad to see that we got at least one of those. This is also really, really strong utility creature. And then again, thinking about like Simic things, right? Like this card is good. I'm a big fan of this one as well. So we could still be choosing to splash blue. And not a ton else jumping out at me here. So we know we're going to run the green-red stuff. So we're going to go ahead and start by sticking all of these really powerful Gruul cards into our deck. And then we're going to go ahead and also include the Beast because it's good. Mammoth Spider is good. Ooze is pretty strong. We like the Project. So again, putting all these powerful rares that we opened. Target creature you control fights a creature you don't. So this is basically like removal. So we'll go ahead and do that. That's good. A 3/2 for 3 isn't terrible, but you gain some life, so why not? And we've got another creature with Riot. Seems good. And let's go look at some of the other stuff here. Riot and Menace seems good, because again, we kind of want to take advantage of the Riot mechanics as best we can. This card is actually really strong in my opinion. Because it's card like filtering, so late game when you don't need lands you can get them out. This is really strong in my opinion because it's a board wide. Destroy target creature with Offender. That's not half bad for utility. Scorchmark is very, very good. We like this. This has some level of evasion. This isn't bad. Like, it's a great way to trigger your Spectacle for sure. But yeah, so we starting with the green-red stuff, then we immediately kind of jump ourselves to 35. Now we do have Open the Gates, which we can use as a fixer, because it's a basic land or a gate. So whatever we decide to splash here, which right now could be black, because we've got some really strong Rakdos splashes, in my opinion. Because this is solid, this is solid. We can play these as well. We got 3 of the Footlight Fiends even. And then, again, we also have 3 of the Applied Biomancies, which is really, really good in blue. And the Arrow here that I like. And even this Growth Spiral is not half bad because of the cycle. So when I'm looking at these, I think I enjoy this more. It's not quite removal, but it's a combat trick that does an awful lot. So if I'm looking for like a splash, I really feel like the blue-green stuff is going to end up being better. And so then we also have Growth Spiral, and we have the Scuttle Gator, which is just a giant wall. And honestly, the nice thing about the Gator is I don't even need to find the blue to play it. So like really our splashing is, you know, not the end of the world here. And we ended up with 3 Simic Guild Gates as well, so we can kind of smooth out those. And then again, we could potentially run Open the Gates if we wanted to. But then it would just be a question of what would we want to remove for that level of fixing. And I'm not even convinced that we need to. Because there's only 4 cards that we absolutely need the blue for. I do like where this deck is going, though. I think we've got a lot of potential. Good curve. So I'm happy with that. Decent amount of evasion and utility, some bombs. Bombs are really important in limited formats, things that can just win a game like for you. Yeah, I think that because we're not running, if we were running Growth Spiral as well, I would consider running the Gates card, but I think that this is fine. I do just worry about the 4 cards that require a blue, but overall, I think that we're gonna go with this. Say done, and all right, that is the sealed deck. I mean, it seems pretty straightforward. You play your bombs. We got really lucky with what we opened. Kind of told us exactly what we were playing ahead of time. We knew we were playing green red, and then you try to make it fit as best you can from there. But I'm excited to play this deck. So thanks for watching this. Look forward to future videos where we put this thing to the test, and I hope to catch you in the next video.